Hi guys, it's Friday and here I am as scheduled. I'm doing my very best to stay on top of this stuff, but um, I do have a little bit of exciting news. If everything goes well, I will be signing my first contract for my first listing tomorrow. So I've been told that it's pretty fast, so I'm just really excited. I hope I have everything correct. I'm so nervous that I'm going to mess something up. There's a ton of paperwork. I don't know, for those of you who haven't bought or sold a house or don't know anything about realty. There's a lot of paperwork, and it's very, very, very important to get it all right. The slightest little thing can get you a $250 fine, and it's nerve wracking. But I think I have everything in order, and um, I really want to help this lady because she's real sad about selling her house, but she's getting on in age and a little too sick to maintain it herself, so she's going to move in with her son. And so I just want to be there with her and help hold her hand and walk her through it and help her feel comfortable about having to move out of her house. But um, it's really exciting. Anyways, either way, it's so weird, but I'm getting there. Um, what I wanted to talk about today was it's a little bit of a difficult subject to talk about, but I think it's actually really good because we all sit around and we think about addiction as something hardcore, heroin or meth or um, one of the, fentanyl, one of the terrible drugs. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that stuff. Hopefully I am. Um, the kind of a root of all of this is that everybody forgets about the stuff that can get you in trouble legally, and it puts people in a trap and they don't even realize they're in the trap until it's way too late, or they don't care, or it's hard to say. But the reason that I want to talk about this is because I just lost a second friend. I'm not a close friend these days since the move and everything, but um, this kid named Wes. He was I'm When I met him, I worked for the Las Vegas Review Journal. Um, I was a crew manager there, and he was brand new. And I remember him being just barely 18 when he started, and he was so nervous and he was so bad at sales. And between me and Sweeney, we got him out there and talked him through it and showed him how to be confident. And he turned out to be actually one of the best. He ended up doing really well after a while. It took him like a month until he got it, but once he did, he was really good at the job, and he ended up with his own crew later and everything. And I know him for a long time. In fact, the guy that I punched in the face, Kevin, yeah, that guy was his roommate when all that went down. So this kid Wes was actually um, he was actually the guy that helped him dig his keys out of the sticker bush that I threw him in after I punched him in the face. So like I said, I've known each other for a long time. He's been my friend on Facebook for a long time, and every few months he actually checks in with me and just kind of sees how I'm doing, tells me about his son, stuff like that. So um, it's really sad. He's only 36 years old. It's only been a couple of days, but he made the mistake that people often make, which is that he started drinking and didn't stop to think about the consequences of drinking every day or turning it into something more than what it should have been. And he died in his sleep. I guess his liver shut down when he was sleeping a couple days ago. At 36 years old. 36 years old, which is, I hate admitting this, but 9 years younger than me. I hate talking about my old age, but anyways, um, it's just really sad. He has a little boy. He has a lot of friends and family who care about him, and the same thing happened with Shannon. I briefly talked about Shannon before, but Shannon was someone who was my ex husband's friend to start with, and I got to know him over the years. And when all the terrible things went down with my ex husband, Shannon actually came. He wasn't even in town. He flew back into town and stayed with us for a little while and helped me with Kason so that me and Megan could work. Sorry, I had the hiccups and I'm fighting them. So that me and Megan could work. 1 second, stupid dog. Sorry about that. For some reason, the dog knows when I'm busy with something, and he chooses that moment to beg to be let out. And if I don't let him out, he'll just go ahead and pee on the door or the rug in front of the door. So, anyways, um, Shannon became a lot more important to me because he took the time so there was someone there to watch Kason while we worked for the last month or so that we were in town, and he even came to Missouri with us. But I started to notice right away that he was sick. His skin was turning yellow. He was just not okay. And the root of the problem was that he was drinking 3 tall boys a day or more, sometimes 6 tall boys a day. And he was just slowly shutting his liver down. He started to turn yellow. Um, we made him go to the hospital when we got to Missouri. He didn't want to go. He promised he was going to go when we got there. Um, and they detoxed him, but they basically told him that if he drank at all ever again, that it was only a matter of time before everything shut down and killed him. And um, I'm not really proud of this. I'm carrying a lot of guilt over this, but at the same time, I had to pay attention to my family and my sobriety and the struggles that I was going through just to keep the family afloat. But basically, I had to give him an ultimatum, and I told him, look, you can't drink. He tried to lie and say the hospital said he has to cut way down, and I knew better because I have a stepsister that also died from the same thing, and my dad ultimately died from complications related to the same thing. So it wasn't my first rodeo by a long shot, and he tried to say that um, he had to cut way down, but then I saw his paperwork, and it said on there, you absolutely cannot have any alcohol ever again, ever, on the paperwork. And I called him out on it, and I said, look, I can't sit and watch you die on my couch. I can't let you drink. I can't let you, you're not drinking in the house for sure. So he would leave and then go drink under the bridge and then come back. And I told him, look, I just can't. Either you have to quit drinking, um, or you got to go back to Vegas. And he chose drinking, and so I bought him a plane ticket and sent him back to Vegas. But I do feel bad about that, and we got in a little fight over it. And I don't know, about a month later, he called me and we made peace, and he told me he understood why I sent him back to Vegas, and we talked it out. And it was difficult, but we got through it. And I think it was only a month or two after that he died. And it's something that people need to be aware of, that alcohol is a slow killer. It really is. Like, you can have a drink here and a drink there, but if you have to drink every day to function, you should really start rethinking your life, because alcohol kills more people than any other drug. And I'm not just talking about car accidents, that's just extra on top of it. Alcohol is the most addictive drug. It's the most accessible drug, obviously, and it's the most commonly addicted drug because of how easy it is to access, and the fact that people do not put any weight on the fact that it's addictive in the first place. Sorry, trying to be comfortable here, but um, the point I'm trying to make is that some a family member that I love very, very much, even though we don't get along, um, is drinks every day, a lot, like a lot. I have no idea why there aren't issues yet, but it's coming eventually. You can't pickle your insides for every day, and live to tell about it for too much longer. Then, I mean, it's been actually a long time. I'm surprised that there aren't way bigger issues already, but it just makes you stop and think. You know, especially this family member, because I don't get along with this family member very often. But I still don't want to lose this family member. I still have to sit and think about what happens when everything shuts down and they're gone. I just makes that things like this is why I don't want to have anger, and why I try my best not to hold resentments over things, because you never know. You just never know when it's all going to be over, and I just want to live my life to the fullest that I possibly can, while being a productive member of society, because obviously the other way didn't work for me very well. But I know a lot of you get it, and a lot of you that are here because you either have your own personal issues, or you had your own personal issues, or your family members or friends or people that you care about do, and you're just maybe trying to make sense of it all, and trying to figure out if there's something you could have done to make it better or help, or what needs to be done next, and where you should turn next. And it all comes down to the fact that we should all help and support each other, and don't be afraid to talk to somebody about their issues, even if they freak out and throw things or whatever. Don't be afraid to maybe plant a seed in someone's head that you know it could all be over in an instant. you know um, thank God David listened to me, because he was getting sick. He was drinking every day, and he was getting sick, couldn't keep food down, in and out of the hospital. And I'm just so grateful, because he means a lot to me, and I'm just super, super grateful that he's cut out the bullshit, and he has gotten his shit together. It makes me happy, because that's a guy that I would be devastated if he just keeled over one day, especially considering he's 10 years younger than me, and he was really, really in a bad way for a little bit. And so I'm grateful for the things that work out, but I've just really been weighed heavily on Wes's death, because he was way younger than me, and he had a lot of life to live, and nobody expected it. He wasn't sick. He wasn't in the hospital. He just didn't wake up one day. So please, for those of you who drink every day, who are starting to build a dependency on alcohol, please think about this very carefully, because you got to remember that even some alcohol, a little bit of alcohol, it can even be good for you over time. But when you get to a point where you have to drink every day just to feel normal, you should maybe look for help and seek it while you can, while your body can still heal itself. My stepsister meant a lot to me too. We were always really, really close, and we had reconnected after my addiction. We had reconnected, and we were planning a trip for me to bring the kids out to see her, and I was so excited. And a week before I left to go see her, um, she had started secretly drinking again. There were bottles found under her bed, big bottles, empty bottles under her bed. A few years before, she had been told if she drinks again, it will kill her. She had turned yellow, went to the hospital, had to be detoxed, and was doing really, really well, and was completely sober for a few years. But something happened and brought her to the point of drinking again, and whatever else made her feel like she had to keep it to herself, and didn't seek help. And her son went in and found her dead, and she was bled out all over her bed with a bloody handprint on the wall, because she was trying to get it to the phone when she realized something was wrong. She never made it. And when I look at the staggering amount of deaths because of this that are just friends and family of mine, it's scary, it's terrifying, and it's sad. It just makes me so sad. I ended up taking the trip anyways, but I had to go for her funeral instead of reconnecting and seeing the sister that I had lost. And I was literally talking to her every single day. I kept her ringtone in my phone for a long time, her phone number and stuff because I just couldn't bear to take it out. I couldn't bear to think that there wasn't going to be any more phone calls. There wasn't going to be a visit. There wasn't going to be anything. And it stays with you for a long time. You push it back and you don't think about it. But right now, just talking about it, and I just want to break again, And I feel sad for his little boy, for Wes's little boy. Poor Shannon had a little boy also, and you have to kind of draw the line at some point. Eventually, if they're going to refuse help over and over, you either have to move on with your life and do your own stuff, or hope they accept your help. I mean, always reach out, always offer it, but ultimately, it's always the addict's decision. It's always the addict's choice. If you don't want it, you're never going to do it, and that's the bottom line. You have to work at it to get it, and it's just scary, the possibilities that are out there with this. I mean, I've seen people that literally had 50 or 60 years left to live just keel over because they didn't want to take care of themselves and they didn't want to think about the consequences. And it makes me sad. So for all of you who've lost anyone this way, my heart goes out to you because, again, even though me and Wes weren't recently close, we still talked. We were still in touch. And it just brings back all this other stuff, flooding in. My dad's body shut down because he just, in the end, couldn't quit drinking and quit drinking. And I let that idiot ex of mine start enough problems to force my dad out of the house when I had him in a place where I was helping him, and I knew he was sneaking a beer here and there, but he wasn't getting it every day, and it wasn't anywhere near what was causing a problem. And as soon as Brian forced him out of the house, then he ended up freely drinking again, and eventually his body just shut down too and couldn't take it anymore. And these are all very important people to me, or people that were important to somebody and that are still friends of mine, and it's just sad, and it makes me sad, and it really makes me grateful for my sobriety. It makes me grateful for recovery in general, and for all the people that have been there supporting me along the way. I just thank you all for believing in me and helping me get there, because I promise you, when somebody believes in you, it's a lot harder to go back. You start thinking, well, God, all these people are going to be disappointed if I drop the ball here. And sometimes it makes you stronger, and that's ultimately what it comes down to is it's almost never possible to do it alone. Okay, so just please reach out to friends and family member if you think they need you. Just make yourself available and let them know that you care. And sometimes that's all they need. All right, that's all I got for today. I love you all, and wish me luck tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. It's just I have all these mixed emotions, and this one's really been getting to me for a few days now, and I just wanted to talk about it because sometimes it's easier if you just talk about it and figure out what's going on in your head about things. Talking to you guys helps. All right, I love you guys. I will talk to you next week, and till then, keep everybody safe and close, and if somebody needs you, please offer your help, okay? All right, I love you guys. Talk to you soon.